Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 17 of the Invisible Gamecast. We're back from a few weeks off, but we are here. We have a bunch of stuff to talk about, and yeah, this is going to have a theme, and you're going to see it. I'm not going to tell you what the theme is, but at least for the early part of the show, it will become apparent pretty quickly. So, my name is Gabe Gerwin. I'm joined down there by Jonah Ort
Hello.
and by Michael Burns.
Hey guys, sorry no lower third for me.
Oh yeah, that's
Stupid apps.
yeah, yeah. He's on the iOS app. Are you on an iPad? I
iPad.
assume.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It's just more
Okay.
convenient for me.
So yeah, this is a week. There's a lot of AAA talk this week, which I guess makes sense since we're moving into we're right in the middle of the holiday season. There's a bunch of stuff coming out. So first off, we have three franchises. You can't get really any bigger than this. So first off, we wrote an article earlier. I think it was a Eurogamer post that had the story first. I'll check real quick. But basically, Call of Duty Advanced Warfare sales are higher overall on Xbox than they are on PlayStation. According to okay, it was a Video Gamer article. Excuse me. Now this is like a UK specific sales chart, and typically they seem to have more reputable, like hard numbers for their sales in UK than we do over here. We have to basically go by NPD numbers, and then eventually the companies say how well it's sold. But this, and Tristan wrote this article. Go figure. The breakdown for platforms here is 35% for PS4, 32 for Xbox One, 21 for Xbox 360, and 11 for PS3. So that's why it's higher on Xbox, because the PS3 it barely got anything. It does not list PC. I'm gonna add up these numbers in my head real quick. So fuck off if my math is wrong. So 67.
Anger.
67 plus 21 is 88, plus 11 is
67, yeah.
99.
99. Oh, well, that's not good. Those numbers must have not included PC at all. There's no way it sold less than 1% on that system. It's not the Wii U after all.
Yuck.
So, yeah, apparently this game has sold better than Ghosts. We don't know how much, but that's coming off of lower pre-order numbers. But after reviews came out, I think the day before the game came out. Oh, I'm getting texts all over the place. But after reviews came out, I think people were a little more excited to pick this one up. So, Jonah, you're doing the review for us. We have
Yes.
both talked about this and played this game extensively. Why don't you talk about like your experience so far? Let's start off with the multiplayer before we move into the campaign stuff, because I have a
Yeah.
little more to talk about, I think, with the campaign.
Yeah. The multiplayers, I mean, it's my biggest draw. I mean, I really didn't get into multiplayer gaming until Call of Duty 4 came out. So I've just been a really big COD fan, and I skipped Ghosts because of just all the bad, reviews it was getting, and I was a big fan of Black Ops 2. And I'd say for anybody who kind of liked Black Ops 2, this is the game for you, because this really takes what Black Ops 2 was doing with the multiplayer, like their pick 10 system and the score streak, kind of like how they laid those out, is very much like it is in Black Ops 2, but better. So this was really like what I wanted to, I guess. And yeah, I'm loving it. I'm really bad at it because it's my first console first-person shooter in 4 years.
What was the last one?
Oh,
Black
God.
Ops 2?
No, I think it was
Black
Modern
Ops 2
Warfare
years ago.
3.
2 years ago, yeah, 2010 would have been the original Black Ops.
No, Modern Warfare 3 was the last like console FPS I played. So that was 3 years ago. But yeah,
You've missed
so it's
so
been
much.
a while. So yeah, it's been, but yeah, that game looks way better than I think people are giving it credit for. Like that is a seriously nice looking game. Like the facial animations and just the lighting and stuff is just like top notch. Like,
Kevin Spacey sure loves it.
oh my God, he looks so good. Kevin Spacey.
Yeah. Conan pointed out in that Invisible Gamer, or not, in that
I love
Clueless
that
Gamer,
Conan is finally watching our show.
yeah, in that Clueless Gamer review, how dead his eyes look.
Yeah,
And
they always do.
his eyes don't look great, but yeah, like everything else, it's amazing. And I don't think he knew he was going to be in the game because he freaked out when he saw him. But yeah,
Jonah,
like
Jonah,
Yeah.
I have two questions for you. One is not related to Call of Duty, and the other is, so I'll start with the not related.
All
Are
right,
you
good.
in like your dad's favorite chair?
I am in my grandparents' basement, which is
Yeah,
the
because
Midwest place on
I'm
Earth.
seeing all the alcohol on the wall,
Yeah.
Yeah, are those like whiskey labels behind you?
and there's like a
Yes.
sweater on the couch or like an old blanket or something. So I figured it must be like your dad or your grandpa's chair. So that's
Yes,
cool.
this is my grandparents' house. This basement is brought to you by the good folks at Jack Daniel's Whiskey. There's a pool table over there with a Budweiser lamp above
My
it,
s- my
and this
sore
is
throat is
behind the
actually
street.
my sore throat is actually brought to you by Jack Daniel's whiskey. Two
Well,
days
there you
in a
go.
row of drinking it.
He's our benevolent sponsor for.
Uh, and my related question is, did you see the video of President Obama playing the new Call
Oh
of
yeah,
Duty?
I
No
shared that and
way.
very quickly took it down when I thought people might be offended by it, but that's fucking hilarious.
But is it actually
Oh,
him playing it, or is it
No,
like
it's an impersonator, but the
okay?
way
yeah,
he
that's a
sets
good
it
one.
up is great because he redoes all the dialogue for the beginning of a speech that Obama does, and then it cuts away and goes to Call of Duty, and he
Hmm.
starts swearing, and you realize, oh, that's not actually the president talking. But his voice is so close to it that it just sounds like Obama's giving a speech, and then it cuts away, and he goes, "But I don't fucking care." And I'm like, "Whoa, what?" But yeah, it's
Okay.
it's funny. Um,
But yeah, I don't know. In the movement change like actually changes things up a
it's gonna
lot.
be hard going back if they don't put that in like every Call of
It
Duty map.
it literally reminds me of like Unreal Tournament, like just the way like you have to think about moving around and stuff. Like it reminds me of old school PC first person shooters, in the best way possible. So I'm digging it basically.
Yeah, I'm not. I guess I didn't really think about that. Like multiplayer, I'm thinking like who's above me a lot more than I would be in an old
Hmm.
Call of Duty game.
Yeah.
Um,
Is it because I mean I guess it sounds like you guys are saying the maps are more vertical, but I mean what is the setting of the maps? Is it like bombed out cities and that
it's
kind of
it's
thing?
kind of a lot of different things. There's like a prison. It takes a lot of maps from the campaign. So there's like a prison. There's one a map I really like that's sort of set right next to where a tsunami's happening. That part is stupid, but the so it's kind of like overgrown, that sort of thing. Like a chemical lab. So it's not it doesn't really look Middle Eastern if that's what you mean. Besides like
Are there
the
any
prison
maps that
level.
take Are there any maps that take place on a cemetery?
I don't know. No, there's no
Literally the
there's no
only
paying
thing.
respects.
Yeah, that's the only thing I've seen from this game is people making stupid jokes about that.
Yeah.
Like
And
the
like
iOS, like the joke that the iOS version would have you
Pay
pay four
$4.99.
dollars,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
to
pay
pay your
respects.
Haha.
respects, which is idiotic, but whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. People can like talk shit on Call of Duty all they want about like Activision being greedy. Like I'm not gonna like stop people from calling Activision greedy, but like you get a lot for your money when you buy a Call of Duty game. I mean,
Yeah,
it's like a decently sized campaign, like a very robust multiplayer mode, and that co-op mode. Like that's a lot of stuff for
yeah.
$60. Like I don't feel ripped off.
No, I mean it's just when they start pushing the season pass that I'm like fuck off because that
Mhm.
really is the one area where it's unquestionable that you're getting less for your money than other like
Oh yeah, no, I
Battlefield
agree.
Premium. If you're really 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 into Battlefield, like that's not a terrible deal because you get a bunch of stuff every time they release one of those expansion
Mhm.
packs. With Call of Duty, it's just new maps and it costs $50.
Yeah, unfortunately with the Battlefield Premium, you also get a bunch of balance breaking weapons.
Yeah, definitely. Every time I go into the game, I'm like, I just got killed by a weapon I've never seen before.
Yep, and it's like, oh, everybody's using that weapon.
Yeah,
But I can't use it. Yeah, no, that stuff sucks. That's one thing I really like about Call of Duty is that they don't do DLC like weapons and stuff. Like
yeah,
there's
and they don't like, and yeah, they won't mix you into people, that have it,
yeah.
which.
Mhm.
So, in terms of the campaign, personally, I liked this a lot more than the last couple Call of Duty campaigns I played. Not just because it's longer, but it just seemed like they just got more creative with the set pieces and stuff that you could do.
Oh
Um,
yeah, I agree.
yeah, story wise, it was okay. The ending was really stupid. I won't give away what happens, but
Yeah, I think the story really like the best part of it is really just like the voice acting
yeah,
is
it's good.
really good throughout. Like it's very convincing.
Like it sucked in Ghost. It was really bad in Ghost.
Yeah, I mean it's never been super great, but Kevin Spacey, I mean like he honestly though, he nails it. Like
He's really good. Troy Baker is like criminally underutilized. I don't know why they insist on during gameplay not having the protagonist say anything, because then you're like,
yeah.
oh yeah, Troy Baker's in this game when they show
Mhm,
one of the rendered cutscenes they do.
mhm.
but yeah, he's really good. I thought it was like that dude from Homeland doing the voice of Cormac. It's not. It's some random guy I've never heard of. Um, yeah, the voice acting's really good in this. In Ghost, it was like their big star, and that was Brandon Routh, who you might remember as Superman in Superman Returns, which
All
he's
right.
terrible in that
Oh
movie.
Did he do anything since that movie?
But yeah, he was in Scott Pilgrim. He's the vegan superhero,
yeah.
and then he was in
Oh,
that
right.
Killing Dog Dead of Night movie that everyone hated.
Didn't see it.
Let's see.
So yeah. Anyway, I guess it was based on a comic book, and it got like horrible reviews. So moving on to another multiplayer shooter. This one, critically got really, really good reviews because it's 4 games that everyone loved. But Halo and the Master Chief Collection released, and people have been complaining nonstop about a very broken matchmaking system. Now, Jonah and I both have Xbox Ones. I am going to be picking this up at some point to review it if we don't get a review copy
I played it today
the next couple of days. Oh, did you?
for exactly 60 seconds. Just because, as I told you, I bought that collection of 360 games.
Yeah.
And I just
okay,
wanted
so
to
you played the games in it.
Yeah, but I played Master Chief Collection today. So what I was saying is I played it for exactly a minute, so I could visually imprint the resolution and the frame rate to see how much better it is than Anniversary Edition or whatever. I played Combat Evolved, and I think I was sort of forced to watch some of the cutscenes for Halo 2 for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
I was with a bunch of dudes who just could not get over how good the wrinkles looked.
Your dachshund is getting right in there.
Yeah, I know. He's happy I'm home. He's been waiting for me.
Oh.
Anyway, but yeah, I think that I'll be fine with the 360 version. Obviously, when I play Halo 2, it'll be a big difference, but there you go. It's kind of dumb to me that they're not going to release Halo 2 Anniversary on 360. I mean, isn't there still a pretty sizable... I mean, didn't you say there's a big chunk of Call of Duty sales on 360 still?
Yeah, but that's a second party or a third party game where they're just trying to sell it wherever they can. They're
Yeah, I know
obviously trying to push
Microsoft
it
wants
pretty hard.
to push the Xbox One.
Yeah,
So.
so that's why.
But yeah, I mean, I found my $20 solution to my Halo paying.
Yeah, Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary on 360 is not a very good looking game. It doesn't look nearly as good as Halo Reach did.
Yeah, it doesn't look great. Honestly, it didn't look great on Master Chief Collection.
Yeah,
Just
so that's
high resolution.
Yeah, so that's kind of there's only so much you can do with that when you're porting a port and that sort of thing. I think people are most excited to see what they do with the Halo 2 cutscenes and and the multiplayer because that's where they really had the overhaul. But anyway, so yeah, the matchmaking system's still kind of broken. They're giving it a short-term solution, and apparently next week is where we're going to actually, or if you're watching this when it's archived, it's going to be later this week. They're going to try to have a longer fix for it. They released one update now. I think it was server side, but they've recommended basically checking to see if the indicator at the top right when you're in a lobby says in lobby, and if it doesn't, you have to exit out and go back in. And they've temporarily deleted some playlists. I think the playlist for Halo 3, the playlist for Halo, I think the playlist for SWAT, Hardcore, and I think Rumble Pit, they temporarily took out. So yeah, we'll see. I think it'll probably be fixed fairly soon. I'm not sure why something like that would happen, but...
By the way, as expected, I did not hear back from either Halo on Twitter or Larry Herb about whether it was true that 343 was blocking refunds on the digital version.
Yeah, I saw that. I will say that I've dealt with some really, really horrible support at Microsoft. I think I haven't dealt with Nintendo support really, but Sony's support team is much, much better about actually knowing what they're talking about.
Yeah.
So it's possible that was some sort of support flub where the dude didn't understand what he was supposed to be doing.
Well, I mean, there's only so many situations that the scripts that they're kind of forced to read off of can cover.
Catch people up to speed on this though.
I saw a NeoGAF thread where people were saying that they tried to call Microsoft to get a refund on the digital purchase of Halo MCC, and and they've never had problems with this before when they had issues with the game, but supposedly the Microsoft or the Xbox rep went to process the refund, and it was blocked, and there was a note that said that 343 was not allowing refunds, which doesn't make sense because 343 is Microsoft.
Yeah.
So, but, you know, like I said, I asked some people on Twitter, which, you know,
I'm
isn't
not sure
the
that
official
Larry
channel,
Hunt
but
would know much about that, but
he's Major Nelson.
he handles Xbox Live's like team. He's like the face of
He's
Xbox
major.
Live.
By the way, we really need to do some outreach on Major Nelsoni. If you guys know him, if you guys know who that is.
No.
I don't.
You know Larry. You know Larry Yoshida on Twitter. You know that guy.
Yeah, you
We need to
made
do
that
some.
account.
I didn't know. I didn't. That's a mystery. It's a
Uh-huh.
mystery who it really is.
Sure. Okay.
He tweeted about this recently.
Oh, okay.
His official word from the official word on Halo Master Chief Collection from Major Nelsoni was, the important thing is we have your money.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I thought it was funny.
Yeah. No.
Okay. Anyway.
Oh boy. Twitter account, Major Nelsoni. Yeah, there it is.
But, you know, I mean, I don't know what you're doing trying to play matchmaking, because those Halo 2 cutscenes, man, just watch those until it's fixed. Like, you're good. That's $60 on its own right there.
Yeah, they do. I think it's like 58
Have I
minutes.
told you guys
cutscenes
about
they did.
my one time in life where I was like really deep in Halo multiplayer?
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
It was Halo 3,
Oh, yeah.
and I was still writing for a Silverchair fan site, and one of the guys that also wrote for that site was based out of Australia and had a 360, and so I played with him and his friends. And I won't name names, but what I learned from playing Halo with a bunch of, you know, aggressive Australian teenagers and 20-somethings was that young Australian men are very racist towards Aboriginal people.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
No, I knew that.
But they were, you know, it was fun playing Call of Duty or playing Halo with them. 'cause I will
Silverchair
never
in the
play Call of Duty.
background. What was that one song of theirs that was really popular?
They had a lot of them, but no, not at that point not at that point in time. No Silverchair songs were
crazy,
appropriate.
by the way.
Well, he's singing to his water. And I can't. I'll mute myself, and you talk now.
Okay.
I'll mute myself.
Yeah, so I think that's about all we have to say on that. We'll go on now to what has become the talk of the week. Assassin's Creed Unity released, and it's
Shit's
totally
broke.
fucking broken. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So the way I have this listed, I have Halo Master Chief Collection released with broken matchmaking, and then Assassin's Creed Unity released with broken everything. So I got this when it came out. I played it to the end of the campaign. I played a little bit of the co-op. I played a little bit of the heist. I've got kind of a good mix, and yeah, it's just not that great. Even without the bugs, which for me mostly these dealt with frame rate. The bugs that most people have been dealing with, frame rate is by far the most. What the hell are you doing?
He just brought this to me.
Frame rate was by far the most common one. It was worst I guess between
On
consoles
Xbox.
anyway. No, not at all.
Oh, right.
On Xbox it was the best. On PS4, out of the two, at least it was bad. Obviously PC. It's a fucking Ubisoft game. If you buy a Ubisoft game on PC at this point, you are perpetuating this because their ports are always terrible.
Unless it's Far Cry.
Yeah, well, no, unless it's Far Cry 3. Ubisoft Kiev did Far Cry 4. It's going to be a horrible port.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. That's
Yeah.
what I'm getting for.
Get ready.
That's crazy
So-
because I basically, you know, I'm looking forward to Far Cry 4 because it's basically going to be a Far Cry 3 PC quality Far Cry game on console.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because
Okay.
the console version of that, as fun as it was such a downgrade from the PC version,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing about
which was
Far
not
Cry
really
3
the
that
case
bugged
on
me,
Far Cry 2.
and Far Cry 4, even to an extent, is doing this too. Is you ever notice the people look like they have like an sort of like a glow around them?
Yeah.
But
It drives me
isn't that
fucking
also the
crazy.
case? I mean, I guess I wouldn't say it's the same exact situation, but it really annoys me that everybody that you target on Assassin's Creed has that outline.
That I mean, they kind of have to do because there's huge crowds and stuff. But I will say,
Yeah, but it does it on the older games too. And Rogue.
Well, there's still crowds. The whole point of Assassin's
Yeah.
Creed is that it's social stealth. If you remember, actually, Splinter Cell Conviction, when that first got announced, was supposed to be a game where you're like walking through groups of people and everything, and they changed it. That's like the basis of what Assassin's Creed is, and they kind of moved away from that with Black Flag, and it was awesome. But anyway, what I want to say though, so frame rate is the main issue. Pop in, I've also dealt with the skin bug.
Nightmares.
I have not run into that actually, but people say it's not working.
Oh my God, that's
There's so many
nightmares.
good jokes out there about it right now.
Yeah, there's the Majora's Mask thing, but besides that,
Right.
the it got a lot of praise I saw from a couple different outlets. Kotaku, I think like Total Biscuit mentioned it too, that the kiss looked really good in the game. Actually, that didn't look fake.
The kiss?
Yeah, there's a kiss pretty early on. There's a love story in this. It sucked, by the way, but where these characters kiss, but it cuts away a little too quickly from me to really praise it. There's another kiss closer to the end of the game though, when you're in a hot air balloon, and the lips of the two characters were literally this far apart, and they were kissing.
I think it might have been because of
I think it might have been because of the outfit I was using.
Is that not how you kiss? Have
Yeah,
I been doing it wrong this whole
I just
time?
talk to them very closely, and then I
That's
say,
what I do.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
We've kissed so much, Jonah.
Yeah, I know, Jesus. But yeah, that game looks like it runs at a really cinematic 10 FPS. You know,
It's not that bad. I'll say even on console or on PC on PS4, it's
Which one? Console, PC, or PS4?
I said P. Did I
You
really
said all
say
three.
that? Okay, PS4.
Okay.
Even on PS4, it's inconsistent. I'll say it's
Yeah.
usually around 30. Like it might drop a little bit below that in some of the bigger areas. It's strange though the areas where it does drop. Cinematics, it happens quite frequently, and there's like one building that you come back to a couple different times. It's this church with this big stained glass window. Every time I climb in the building, what?
Is it Notre Dame?
I don't. It might have been actually. You do go to Notre Dame, but I don't remember if that's where I was.
Notre Dame.
Either way, you break the glass window.
Notre Dame.
It might have been Notre Dame actually, but I don't remember because you go back to it more than once. They say the temple, so it might have been.
Has anyone here played Rogue?
No, but I'm not done yet. So when you're climbing, it dips substantially for some reason in that building, and there's nothing really going on there. Rogue has gotten around the same reviews. I saw IGN gave it an even lower score and just said it was boring and uninspired, but it seems to fucking work at least.
Yeah.
I think it got a slightly higher score on on US Gamer.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, of the two, Rogue would be the one that I would be more excited to play because, unlike the rest of the world, I liked I liked Assassin's Creed 3. I'm still into Assassin's Creed 4, but I haven't finished it. But Rogue is like the cap on the Kenway saga or whatever. And
yeah, I don't care
about.
I wish that was on next gen.
I don't care about Assassin's Creed. I don't care about Assassin's Creed 2, but I do like those stories about that family. So I would love to play it, but I'm like kind of bummed out because I have 3 and 4 on Wii U, and of course this is not on Wii U. And I really love that. I don't know if you guys saw that poster or like ad that Ubisoft put out.
Yeah, like every console available.
Yeah, it was like now you can assassinate on every console. And it was like PS3, Xbox 360, PS4, Xbox One, and Sega Genesis, but not Wii U.
Yep.
It's like,
yeah, well.
So I guess I'll have to get it on 360 if I ever do.
Speaking of which, there's one other game coming. So we have 2 huge releases coming out this Tuesday. Far Cry 4, as we've been talking about, and Dragon Age Inquisition. Actually, there's one more that's
GTA
coming
4,
out.
Right?
What?
GTA 5 as well.
Yeah, well, on next gen GTA 5, but there's besides that.
Mm-hmm.
Watch Dogs is coming to Wii U.
All right.
Yes, on Tuesday. So we are going to get to. God damn it, that's annoying me. We are going to get to.
Last one out. Turn off the light. That should be the end of every Wii U Watch Dogs review.
Yeah. So. That's basically going to be it for Ubisoft mature games.
It's just such
on Wii U.
I hate using this phrase, but it's just such a self-perpetuating. What is the word? basically Ubisoft is saying we're not doing these anymore because they don't sell on Wii U. But then, they release a game like Watch Dogs like 6 months after it came out on every other platform, and no one cares about it anymore.
Yeah, and then they're going to point at the numbers and say, see, it's not selling.
Yeah.
Well, maybe, but I mean, they said this before that
That's part of it.
The last one they did, but I mean, Nintendo really fucked up the Wii U. It's hard to deny that the console. Those games just don't sell on that console, and they do have the numbers to back that up. Games like Assassin's Creed, Splinter Cell Blacklist, when that came out on Wii U, they don't sell on the console, and I understand people saying, well, they need to give it more time. The Wii U has been out longer than both the PS4 and the Xbox One, and when Watch Dogs came out, it sold best on the PS4, and it had like less than 10% of the install base that it would have on the 360 or the PS3. Those are numbers you can point to. I understand people being pissed they bought this console, but like...
No, I'm not mad about it. It's just a shame to me because Black Flag is really good on Wii U. It's a really solid port, and I would love to play Rogue on it, but I won't be able to. But that's fine. My 360 still is like part of my entertainment center. So
the thing that Nintendo, I don't really have.
I'll be right back, by the way.
The thing that Nintendo systems have kind of become for me is like the second console that I buy to play those games, and so my library on Nintendo systems is usually much smaller. I already have more Xbox One and more PS4 games than I have Wii U games, but I always buy an Xbox or a new Nintendo game on Wii U when it comes out. It's just a system I don't go to that frequently, but I do keep going to it when they release their games, and I don't know. I think they fucked it up right from the beginning by putting way too much emphasis on these third-party ports, not of Call of Duty, but of like Arkham. They spent way too much time talking about that. Darksiders, Need for Speed, which actually here was an okay port, but I don't know. I think they're at the point where they just need to.
They're all okay ports. Arkham Asylum and Mass Effect are actually pretty good if you don't factor in the fact that they don't get any. Excuse me, Arkham City.
Yeah.
If you don't factor in the fact that they don't get DLC, they're actually good ports.
I've heard nothing but terrible things about Arkham City's port. Actually, Darksiders I've heard is a really good port.
I played through Arkham City again on Wii U just because I got it for like $5, and it's good. I mean, there's I think maybe lower res shadows, but anyway, I was just gonna say it's funny. I have probably more Wii U games now than 360 games, and I think I probably have like 20 Xbox 360 games, maybe 25.
Okay. Yeah, I have. It's going to be very hard for me to top how many 360 games I have over the years because I had that system for
Sure.
7 years before I got another a console that I was playing my games on. So I have somewhere probably around like 50 360 games.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have a PS3 though.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay, I will be right back.
Okay. So yeah, Assassin's Creed Unity, I definitely wait on this one. I think this game is going to be broken for several months before they actually get it working. It is.
Yeah.
This is not just a bug that they're like, oh shit, we should have known that. It's like it's obvious they knew the game was not ready and they didn't want to have to delay it anymore, and they really should have. It's gonna. I think it's a good thing though that this is happening now, and not for the reason that Ben Kuchera said, in that it gives you. It lets you save some money to spend on other games when a game you're excited for gets bad reviews. I think that's a really silly thing to say. But because I think we might be going down the Battlefield route with this, which I think could mean being willing to delay a game by like 6 months or more to get it working properly. Now, obviously, they did that with Watch Dogs, but I think with Watch Dogs, it's that it wasn't a franchise that they were already analyzing, and they kind of had the freedom to do something like that because they had another big open world game coming out. 2 weeks. 2 weeks later than that with Assassin's Creed Black Flag, which obviously was fantastic. But that's just my hope that they'll release. Maybe they'll start releasing these every 18 months.
Yeah.
They'll still have multiple games in development at once, but they can release them release one in November, and then don't have the next Assassin's Creed till like March or April 2016, something like that. Besides that, though, creativity is just kind of the problem with this game. They have
Yeah.
a couple really good ideas. I love the approach they took to assassination, like high-profile assassinations in this game. There's no eavesdropping anymore.
They're much more like open-ended, right? It's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
more like
They call them
areas.
they call them like boxes. So basically, you get the camera kind of zooms around and shows you a couple little points of interest in this
Yeah.
zone, and then you can kind of do it as you see fit. So like my favorite one, for example, and I won't say when this is, but it's later on in the game, involves you're at like a dinner party,
Which
and
game, real quick?
we're talking about Unity. The couple things I liked design wise.
Mhm.
And so basically, you poison this bottle of wine. Uh, the guy drinks it, and then after he does that, he gets up to go to the bathroom because he's feeling sick, and then you kind of then have to sneak through and take him out that way. The very first one, and I think they showed this actually in some demos, so this isn't spoiling anything. It goes Boondock Saints on you, where you sneak into this confessional booth and you wait for your target
Yeah.
to come in, and then you stab him
Yeah, that was
through the little
cool.
grate.
That game,
So
that game's
That
kind
reminds me of my
of
childhood.
I've noticed that game's kind of gross. Like some of there's like that one cutscene where dude's getting like decapitated. Like
it
there's
cuts away. I mean, there are a lot of severed heads on sticks.
yeah, like it just I never thought of those games as that. I mean, I know, I mean, you're slicing people up or
It's
whatever, but
it's
like
it's it's bloodier, definitely. I think
yeah,
maybe just because of the tech. Do you know how in like Blacklist when you do one of those abductions from the corner and you like slice someone's neck, how the blood will squirt on the wall?
yeah,
It'll do that, but it'll do that like more often. Just like when you're in combat and you kill someone, their blood squirt on the wall. There's finishers, which are basically what you could call overdoing it, but they're really fun. If you kill someone, usually, like if you kill someone just in combat, they'll kind of slump over and they'll slowly fall down. If you attack them again while that's happening, you'll super kill them and you'll like do something cool, like kick them in
make
the
sure
face,
yeah,
and
you'll kill them. Yeah,
you'll kill them immediately. And they did brought back a lot of those times if you don't do that, sometimes they'll be lying on the ground, kind of writhing in pain, but you have to go up and actually stab them again. So
yeah,
yeah, it's a violent game. It's still, I don't think it's as brutal, like animation-wise, as the first AC. That one is still just ridiculously over the top with some of those kills.
yeah.
Not as violent as Shadow of Mordor, which I finally reviewed.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. To be fair though, those are orcs you're killing.
yeah. Welcome, dude. Whatever. The just I just whenever I see those animations of you stabbing an orc straight through the head, I imagine like the force it would take to do that, like straight through the head. That is
Okay,
crazy.
there's like you have a couple options for stealth kills on that game. One of them is just stealth kill, but another one is called
Yeah, the
brutalize.
Yeah,
It's like you're watching a particularly violent execution on the wire or something. Like it looks like there's a shiv command, and it looks like it was inspired by real life prison horror stories, and
yeah.
I
No,
don't know.
I played that game. Yeah, it was very violent. It definitely like you feel bad for like a second, or at least with me. Like
I felt gross at first, and every once in a
yeah,
while I'd be like, "This is gross," but then I'd like unlocked the ability to like do unlimited executions for 30 seconds, and so
yeah.
I'd just be like,
See ya.
anyway.
So yeah, a couple other things like design-wise in Unity. Some of them work well, some of them don't. There are still tailing missions, but um, they're not nearly as annoying because they're not like auto fail. They'll turn into chase sequences and stuff like that.
That's good.
The co-op so far has kind of been it's not a good replacement for the competitive multiplayer that the other AC games have had since Brotherhood, which is
Oh yeah,
really
it
really
doesn't
good.
have that, does it?
No, they replaced it with these co-op missions, which are fine, but they're really short,
Ugh.
and they don't scale. So like I'm playing them all now that I beat the game already, and I'm playing with scrubs, and I can go around and basically just murder everyone because the enemies are this is one like to my knowledge the first AC game that has used like a leveling system like this. It's sort of like how in Destiny, how once you get to level 20, you raise your level by getting better gear. So if you're so you get, basically your level is the combination of how high a level the gear you have is, the skills that you've purchased and what you've upgraded. So it's interesting, but like by the end, you're basically automatically the highest level by the end of the game because you get like a really really powerful weapon. But
Mhm.
besides that, like it's a cool system and encourages you to kind of mess around. But yeah, I wish that they bring back the competitive stuff. The co-op stuff is cool, and I'm happy they included a little bit of that. But I remember when I played that Brotherhood competitive multiplayer for the first time, it was a revelation. Um, and then they ruined it in Revelations by changing something, which they then changed back. Uh, I didn't play it in 3, but in Black Flag it was fixed again. But yeah, have you ever played the multiplayer in or do you know anything about it?
Me?
Yeah.
I know it's a little bit like Prop Hunt almost, right? Where you're like disguised as an NPC and you gotta kind of
Yeah.
like move like them.
Yeah, it's a little bit different in that they're trying to do something. You're all kind of trying to do the same thing. Um,
Uh-huh.
but yeah, so basically how the multiplayer in that game works was like you said, everyone picks a disguise, someone they're going to play as, sort of, and there's a lot
Mhm.
of those same character models walking around the map on purpose, so it's hard to figure out
Yeah.
who's who. And so in the main mode, you have one target, and it's another player, and so you have to kill them. And if you guess wrong, you lose the chance to kill them, and you pick someone else, and someone else has you as their target. So it's a matter of making sure they don't see you while trying to find someone else, and the person you're targeting is not the same person who's targeting you. So
Yeah.
it's a really cool system. But this, yeah, it's cool to try out, and I'm sure this will be more fun with friends, or maybe it'll be more fun when I play some of the bigger ones. But the only co-op things are those, and there's heists. There's also something that's similar to the cash run mini game, sort of in Watch Dogs. They're called Helix Rifts, which send you to different time periods, and they let you kind of run around to collect points. It's sort of like a high score thing. So those are fun. The murder mystery stuff is okay. I played a little bit of that, but anyway, we've been talking about this for a while. I want to move on to a couple other things. This one won't take very long. So Alien Isolation, I reviewed it. Michael reviewed it. We reviewed it on 2 different sites, and I ran into some pretty severe bugs that basically
Which
stopped
I
me.
never ran into.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So we were both on PS4, I believe,
Hmm.
and basically I had to unfuck the game to get it to work so I could finish it because it was putting me in the wrong spot. And they released a patch, I believe it's 1.02, which was supposed to fix some problems in that game. Most notably, I believe,
No, no, no.
cinematics.
The only note on the patch was video playback improvements.
For the cinematics.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was
Oh.
saying.
Yeah.
So yeah, the frame rate on the cutscenes
Oh,
was pretty bad.
oh, you're talking about the. I was gonna say the only other patch there was the day one patch.
Yeah, so they have
That
not
had that.
fixed this bug,
Correct.
and they are now advising people to delete the patch that they just gave because it is breaking the game. Now, you said you haven't experienced that personally.
I didn't experience it. You know, I was gonna delete the patch and just because I just started playing it again. Uh, 1 second. I just started playing it again the day before the patch came out, specifically because I wanted to put the disc in and see if they had fixed the cutscenes, and they hadn't. But I didn't really care. I just loved the game and I wanted to start playing it again. And
I'm getting PTSD just thinking about this game.
yeah, I mean, I was able to play like an hour, until the alien shows up. And once he
So
showed
you
up,
played it when it was fun.
sure. Well, once it's still like kind of like wonderful and about exploration, but once it shows up, I was like, I was gonna play. I was like, I've had to drink a couple nights in a row lately for work-related reasons, which is backfiring on me
I'm
pretty bad right
sorry.
now.
I'm getting a bonus.
Well, not really, but anyway, I was like, oh, I'm inebriated like pretty hard, so I'm gonna play Alien, and it's gonna be awesome. And I was like, I couldn't play more than like 10 minutes. I was just too scared. I had to turn it off.
Yeah.
But again, like to answer your question, sorry, I just love the game. I don't want to talk about it a lot. And I know you don't. It fixed the cutscenes. The cutscenes look great now.
Good.
The lip syncing isn't perfect yet, but they look nice. but I didn't run into any of the bugs, which apparently are anything from the game will not load your save and will crash when trying to do so, or
Sounds familiar.
or it will load your save, but it will not load new areas when you exit an area.
Sounds familiar.
Didn't have any of those issues, and I was willing to like try it out because I had only just started playing the game again, and no issues for me.
Oh, before I forget, this is completely unrelated, but I'm very excited. Online multiplayer is finally coming to Trials Fusion. It's completely
No,
unrelated.
go ahead. No. It's fine.
But I was very excited about this. I'd probably lower my score a little bit if I reviewed the game again.
Because of a lack of multi?
Yeah, sort of. Yeah, I guess. But now they're adding it back in. That kind of makes up for it. So Trials Evolution I played mostly because I watched some videos of some YouTubers playing the game. They were doing the online multiplayer modes, and they did not include that in Fusion. And then they added in some tournaments, which were nothing like what you expected. So now it's going to be 8 players online, and they're fixing some stuff with like which order people are going to be in. So yeah, that's going to come at some point before the end of the year. Very quickly, Visceral says that they're going to release a fully stable Battlefield Hardline at launch, and
way fucking better.
yeah, and story-wise, I'm still not sold. It seems super cheesy, but that's all I want to say about that. So yeah, the theme, by the way, if you couldn't tell, was fucking stuff is broken.
By the way, my unrelated thing, but you just reminded me of it for some reason. What the hell happened to Dishonored 2?
I think that was a fake. If you're referring to the thing that was supposed to be at E3, or do you just wonder why the game's not announced yet?
I'm ready. I'm ready for it.
Yeah, so am I.
DX or whatever, the video game. What's it called this year? It's called something else, isn't
The
it?
Video Game Awards or something
Yeah,
like
the
that.
Video Game Awards. I'll bet you anything it might be.
I hope. Jeff Keighley's funding that out of his own pocket, by the way.
He must have a deep pockets. Yeah, I did see that though. He is funding it himself.
So
So we're all getting invited, I guess.
yeah, he said they're selling tickets and stuff, but I'm excited about that because I think maybe it'll at least cover more than just being a big commercial.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Dishonored 2. It's obviously in the works because Pete Hines said almost immediately from Bethesda that it was becoming a franchise when they saw the sales. The sales were very, very good for the first game.
I just want to see a Dishonored. I just want to see a follow-up to the game that actually capitalizes on the idea behind the big, do it your way thing.
Oh, we've had this discussion before, but I
Yeah.
disagree with you more on this game than pretty much any other game we've ever talked about because I think
No, just understand.
so
I
great.
really like the game.
Yeah.
I just found too many times where the way I wanted to go through a level broke it. But anyway.
My problem with Dishonored was that I just didn't think it just wasn't long enough for me.
It was very short, yeah.
It's such a gorgeous
I
game,
blew
though.
through it. Oh, it was no, that was the thing. It was like I was like, wait, no, I'm not done. Like I want.
Yeah, they expect you to go back and play it like a different. There are like a bunch of different ways that feel like different levels, but
I do still
it
have
should
to
have
get
been
the
longer.
DLC. I just haven't yet because I was waiting for the second
It
part.
was pretty good.
Yeah, I heard the first part was
right.
okay, but the second part was great. So I just waited for them both to come out, and I just it's one of those things I keep forgetting about now that it's PS4.
Yeah, that was the thing. Like, especially with the first game like that, some ideas they're sort of testing out. I know the next one's going to be longer, I'm sure. Plus they're not working on Prey 2 because no one's working on Prey 2 anymore.
That's so sad to me. Do you guys remember the best thing about Prey was it had those Art Bell recordings? Do you guys know who Art Bell is?
No.
He was a late night radio host, like AM radio host, who would do Coast. I think it's called Coast to Coast with Art Bell, and it's just a late night show where people would call in, truckers, or maybe they were actors pretending to be truckers, but they would call in and talk about like aliens and stuff. And it's one of those like really cheesy things, but if you get into it and you believe these people actually believe what they're talking about, like, oh, I saw a UFO one night when I was crossing the interstate, whatever. But Art Bell like specifically or recorded new like fake shows specifically for Prey that you could like hear while you're wandering around on the ship.
My favorite part of that game was like the first 5 minutes where you're talking with your girlfriend about like all your troubles, and then you're like, oh, that doesn't matter anymore because fucking aliens just showed up. But yeah, the thing about Dishonored is just that it was kind of obvious that they were making a game that that was a little too ambitious for those consoles because the textures look like they're made of crayon at some point. So that I'm excited to see
I
what.
thought it was okay though because it was the exaggerated look.
It was
Stylized.
the
Yeah,
models and stuff looked okay, but the environments like rocks and stuff just looked horrible.
I
But yeah,
don't know why I'm still thrilled that they had Roger Sterling from Mad Men in
there were
it.
a lot of weird names. Like Chloe Grace Moretz was in that game. Susan Sarandon was in that game, and not even in
Oh
a very
yeah,
big
she
role.
was.
I
Yeah,
do not like Susan
Oh right, she
Sarandon.
was that. She was that.
She was
She was that
Lady
blind
Rags.
lady, that witch.
yeah, the
Yeah.
final boss or
Grandma,
whatever.
Granny Rags. No, no, no,
Was
not
she the final boss?
no,
Yeah, no, it was.
no.
It was Granny
I know who
Rags.
Granny Rags is. I
The
just
final
didn't.
boss was a dude.
No, well, wasn't there? Oh, no, I guess it was like an optional boss fight, right? But you could fight Granny Rags. I remember that being by
You could
far the
kill
most
her, but it wasn't a
difficult.
boss fight.
Granny Rags was cray.
Yeah, she was nuts.
No, it was definitely Granny Rags. She
Okay, well,
spawned rats
anyway,
at
she
you.
wasn't close to at the end of the game.
Yeah,
Okay.
I played that game several
closer to the
times.
beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, we do have to kind of rush through a few of these things just so we can stay on time. But so you're really excited about this. I didn't even realize this was coming out. XCOM Enemy Within is coming to iOS.
Listen, I didn't realize it was coming out. It was announced by Polygon, who'd apparently had it for a week. It was announced by Polygon the day before it came out. So here's the thing. I love XCOM Enemy Unknown. It basically, through some technicalities, ended up being like my game of the year 2 years in a row because like as much as I love playing the game on Xbox 360, it's at home on touchscreens, and so it's I mean I bought an iPad Air specifically so that I could have a great XCOM experience, and so I bought Enemy Within for PS3 for some reason, even though I knew that was a stupid idea. I think I had some credit on PSN, played it a little bit, but it's like it performs really poorly on PS3, and it's just not convenient for me to fire up my PS3, turn on the TV, when all I gotta do is like grab my iPad and I can play XCOM immediately. It loads so much faster. It doesn't look as good as far as textures and whatnot, but it's like way sharper and just super snappy. So I didn't really play Enemy Within. I kind of begged Ananda Gupta, the designer of Enemy Within, and Jake Solomon on Twitter, probably like once a month for a year, so I could put it on iOS, and they always were like favoriting my tweets, but
I don't think Solomon even had a hand in Enemy Within.
No, he wasn't.
No,
Ananda Gupta was the designer of Enemy Within. But they appreciated the enthusiasm, but they, I guess I'd kind of given up when they released BioShock instead. And so I just bought Enemy Within for 360 like 2 weeks ago because it runs so much better on that, and I just started playing it, and then now it's on iOS, and I'm just like hooked on it all over again.
It is pretty cheap on iOS, right? It's like
$12.99.
Okay.
Which is $7 cheaper than Enemy Unknown was, yeah. And besides all the cool stuff they added for Enemy Within, it's actually like optimized for the newer devices, not just the brand new ones, but like last year's as well. So it has better lighting. It actually has actual lighting effects, like
what are the system requirements?
iPad 3 and up, and iPhone 5 and up.
Damn it! All right, I need to upgrade finally.
But just one thing. There's two things that I love that they added to it, which sounds stupid, but shadows, which were not there before. Mm-hmm. That was like a main cause of like making it look downgraded on iOS, but I still loved it, so whatever. But so there's shadows, and then but the thing that is like, it was such a stupid omission before, and I'm so glad they finally brought it in, was armor tinting. I mean, I assume you guys played Enemy Unknown.
I did, but it was a really long time ago.
Did you play, Jonah? Okay, so
yeah,
on the console and the PC how you can like change their armor color, make them like, pink, purple, red.
I literally did not know you could do that.
Okay, well,
shit, that changes.
The whole thing about customizing your characters and making them look like people you know.
I don't do that because they die too much on me.
Yeah, I have a system where once my rookies level up, then I name them after people and then I customize them. and then I play an Iron Man, so if they die, I get sad. Yeah, armor tinting was not in the in Enemy Unknown, and so everybody looked the same. I mean, different races and stuff, different colored skin, but their armor was all the same, and it was just kind of boring looking. But it was still XCOM. But now it's pretty much exactly the game that I've wanted, which kind of throws some wrenches into my Game of the Year contenders. But anyway.
Yeah, Michael, you gotta give me some hot XCOM tips because I'm playing through Enemy Unknown now. Actually, I've just been sort of plodding my way through it, and I'm playing it on easy because I'm way too dumb for that game, and I feel like I'm doing something wrong. I need you to give me some tips at some point.
Sniper, man.
I have plenty of snipers.
Before we move on, I can give you some tips.
Everyone to Overwatch.
I can give you some tips. Yeah, always do Overwatch. But before we move on, I should just point out on a semi-related note that I spent the night, a few hours tonight playing the board game for XCOM that's about to come out. And the first half of the first game we played, I hated it. But that's kind of what happens when you're playing really complicated board games that confuse you and make you angry. When we started our second game, which we had to cut short so that I could be here for the podcast, I finally figured out what was going on. But even though it's a board game, it's like real time. There's like a timed phase, and you have like 15 seconds to do like really complicated things, and then it's over. And it was never really fun. It was just kind of stressful, and I don't know who designed that, but
well, that's a shame.
It's a cool concept, and there's lots of neat, XCOM-y things to it, but it's just it's officially off of my Christmas wish list.
Oh, that's a shame. So a couple things we're gonna go through. So Just Cause 3 got announced, and it is not going to be free to play or have any microtransactions. It's a full retail game. It's a shame we have to say that.
I wonder what was that screenshot?
Was Just Cause 2 free to play?
No, but there was a rumor going around that they were going to
be.
be.
There was that screenshot of it
Avalanche
that
games.
Makes it look very, very like microtransaction-y. Like I actually don't know how that screenshot could not have been microtransaction related.
Let me look that up.
Yeah, no, definitely look at it because like seeing that, because I'm pretty sure. I mean, like I don't know. I highly doubt Avalanche or whatever confirmed that those were real or whatever. But if those are real, it makes me wonder if they like saw the reaction to those and were like, okay, maybe we'll change the.
Yeah, I'm looking at it's cars.
Yeah, it's like a menu and it's like these like diamonds or something. It's like. Yeah.
Yeah, this looks like it comes from Xbox-underground.com. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, well, it looks like they're not doing it now, so.
Yeah. But yeah, I just want to believe that
I don't know if you guys saw that, but that hurt. Fell on my ass on the floor.
Oof.
Running back.
But yeah, I want to believe that they saw the fan reaction to that and were like, oh shit, okay, fine, like we won't do it.
Yeah. PS4 sales at this point in time at least are outpacing PS2s. Don't hold your breath if that's going to last because the PS2 sold over 100 million systems. GTA Online. Okay, so GTA 5, like we said, in a couple of days is coming out on Xbox One. And
did I tell you they're sending me a copy?
No.
Oh, really? Nice.
Supposedly, but the game comes out in like 3 days, and I haven't seen it.
Well, that doesn't mean you're not gonna still get it. That happens a lot.
No, I know, but I did just see that there's a day one patch for it. Like everything now coming out Monday. I can't believe that. It's a port of a previous gen game. Like they said it's I guess it's mostly for GTA Online, but it's like balancing issues and things like that. But,
it is ridiculous that it took this long. But
and I am 5 missions away from finishing it on PS3, by the way. That's what I'll be doing tonight if I don't pass out.
Oh my God. Yeah, I'd hold off on that review if you're gonna do the next gen version. Just do it then. Anyway, so yeah, online heists are finally coming. Super Smash Bros. On 3DS has sold 1 million units already, which is impressive because it's only been out for less than a month.
Are any of you guys still playing it?
Not really. When friends want to play it, I play it, but that's kind of how that game has always been for me. It's a game I'll be playing for a while.
I keep trying to get you guys to play. Maybe you just haven't been around
I've,
more.
I've been super busy the past couple weeks.
I literally have not played. I mean, I played for like maybe 2 minutes by myself the other night, but I have not played it since. Besides that, since we all played together.
Yeah,
I
well, you don't
played
like the game. Well, you're not a big Smash Brothers fan.
No, I'm not a Smash fan, but you excuse me. He wants to go outside. I have played the demo more at this point than the
Oh
full
yeah.
No, I
game.
played quite a bit of the full game. It's just, yeah, it's something I don't come back to all that much, but it's
I just
impressive.
think that
Sales.
nobody is gonna play it once the Wii U version comes out, and I'm gonna be left in the dust because I probably
I,
won't get the
I,
Wii
I,
U
I
version.
don't think that's.
I'll play with you, Michael. I'll have a Wii U.
The 3DS install base is just so much bigger. I think the 3DS version is going to outsell the Wii U version
I don't
substantially.
mean
I think so too.
nobody is going to play it. I mean of my friends.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's two very different things.
But my friends are the people I want to play with. I play for glory, and I get owned instantly every
Oh,
time.
Absolutely.
And I play for fun, and the only option seems to be time, which is stupid. Nobody likes to play Smash Brothers timed.
Yeah.
So
So
I
yeah,
don't
let's talk
really.
about reviews a little bit. So I'm just going to mention the Metacritic score basically for Far Cry. It's sitting at an 87 right now, which is a couple points below Far Cry 3, but out of the AAA titles this year for Ubisoft, far and away the best. So Dragon Age though is the one that everyone's really been buzzing about because review scores are very high for that game. I saw
I
Joyce.
was almost tempted to buy it last week, and then I realized it's not out yet.
Yeah, it's coming out yeah, and that's the thing. It's not. It's like what? It's not out yet. Reviews are
Yeah.
coming out. So
Yeah.
review scores for that game dropped like a full week. I think review scores for that game came out earlier than review scores for Assassin's Creed Unity, which the big deal with that was that it was embargoed until noon the day of reviews. And I was
Even on the East Coast, yeah.
yeah, so I actually picked it up before reviews came out because that's when I had time to pick the game up. But yeah, Dragon Age. I did not like Dragon Age 2 at all. I'm super excited for this. I won't be getting it at launch, but at some point this holiday I'll be getting that.
I'll get it eventually. It'll be my first Dragon Age.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Two was my first one. I just.
Did any of you guys see the Mass Effect thing? The news
I
and
saw-
7. I guess that was 11/7 and 7.
About the Halo guy writing it?
No, just any of the news. I mean,
I did see the thing about Halo Coordinator working on.
No.
Not
Is there
Halo.
anything other than that?
did I say Halo? 'Cause I
No,
meant Mass
but
Effect.
the
No,
only
I just want to know if
one-
they. This is a maybe kind of reflective of how we all feel about the new gen consoles at this point. But I'm just wondering if they announced anything about a Mass Effect trilogy.
No.
Oh,
No.
mm-mm.
They had that on PS3, but they have talked a little bit about what people would want out of that. But
Yeah.
that's about it.
Anyway.
Yeah, it'll probably come eventually.
BioWare.
Last but not least, I'm gonna be honest. This is just kind of fun to make fun of, and I want to talk about this for a few minutes. But well, actually, before we do, Jonah, are you interested in Dragon Age at all?
No.
Tristan is.
I played the second one, and I actually beat it. I don't know why.
I didn't even beat that game. I hated it.
Then I went back and I bought the first one, and I hated it. I don't know. I mean, like, it's just how I am. I'm not really big into super, like, dialogue-heavy games. It's the same reason. I mean, I don't really like Mass Effect that much for the same reason. Like, I don't know. Like, I just wasn't really interested in the story, and fantasy games in general don't really interest me that much, unless it's Tolkien or, like, Elder Scrolls, but only sort of.
Okay.
You're not down with that Witcher shit?
No, not at all. It's just, I don't know, man. It's like,
I'm not
for
into it
me
either.
personally, it's like, if it's not Tolkien, then I feel like it's like a knockoff almost. Like, it's just like nothing will be as good.
Shadow of Mordor is not Tolkien, by the way.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, I was cooler with Shadow of Mordor. I mean, I guess I don't know my fantasy genres super well, but I like darker fantasy, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Like Shadow of Mordor was, not like, like a ton of magic and elves and stuff. I mean, I know that's
Yeah.
in Shadow of Mordor, but like, it just doesn't interest me. You know what I'm saying? Like, and as far as I'm concerned, I think Dragon Age has one of the most generic fantasy settings ever, actually.
So does Shadow of Mordor.
Yeah, no, I agree. But that game doesn't
C
have a
plus.
You're like the only person I've read a review of who did not like Shadow of Mordor, Michael.
I found a few others. No, it's not that I didn't like it. It's that it's repetitive, and it's not Tolkien. It's not in the spirit of Tolkien. It was cool for a minute in that it tried to tell a story about a really important character who we haven't heard much about in like sort of the movie, I guess the movies, which made the books popular again. But it was just like kind of trying to undo. I mean, obviously they're fans and they're not trying to undo it, but it sort of made Tolkien. It sort of said Tolkien was wrong about everything that he said about the Ring, and it's anyway. I won't get into it here, but it's.
Personally, I kind of hate Lord of the Rings. I liked the Hobbit book because it was funny, but I can't get into the movie. I think it's just
You're in the wrong neighborhood, Gabe. You're in the wrong
they're just
neighborhood.
overwrought.
Bet you guys have never heard of this book.
Okay.
No.
Anyway.
Yep.
But yeah,
It's an
having
alternate
it really be 3 hours long, and fuck God, and then people think it's super high art, fucking Lord of the Rings. It's not. It's fantasy. It's fun. There's dragons.
You guys should know, this is an alternate version of the Fellowship of the Ring where Strider is a hobbit named Trotter.
I don't know who either of those things are, so I don't
I
care.
didn't read the books. I'm sorry.
Aragorn.
I actually made a board game for the Hobbit. It was not by choice. It was a class project. The board game's fucking awesome.
I made a
still have it
virtual
somewhere.
reality machine when I was 12.
I don't think you did that.
No, I did. I'll explain it to you really quick. I put a diorama in a shoebox and stuck my face in it.
Yep.
That's real, Michael.
Yeah.
You could have touched that. That's not.
That's real reality.
Yeah.
That's real.
Remember those Nickelodeon commercials in like the late '90s? They said virtual reality, actual reality, and they showed you playing basketball.
Yep. But Michael, what I was just gonna say is like I like Shadow of Mordor, and I was cool with the setting because it doesn't talk to you about the setting very much. It's just like go kill orcs, and I like
it
the
just got boring to me.
of the Dragon Age games. Like I like the sort of RTS-ness of it. But it's just like, dude, I want to talk to these dudes. Let me just go kill orcs. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me.
That's
kill
boring
demons.
to me. See, I
want to.
Yeah.
I guess the thing about those games that kind of makes up for it is you can just skip all the shit you don't want to hear and go talk to them.
I know,
But there are so many people who really like that stuff, so it wouldn't be fair to them to just not.
Exactly, and I feel like I don't know. Like I said, it's just not for me. I won't be getting it.
Now,
I don't imagine either of you guys is going to a Hobbit trilogy marathon then.
No, I'm not going to watch those movies anyway because it's a fucking cash cow and it should have been one movie.
It's not a cash cow, but that's fine.
It totally fucking is. Come on,
guys.
The epilogue of that book is being made into one fucking movie. Fuck off. That Peter Jackson.
No,
yeah, the Battle of the Five Armies is the last little bit of that book.
Yeah, it's all battle though, and battles don't actually see like in the Two Towers. Like people made a big deal about the fact that the Two Towers, the Battle of Helm's Deep in the movie was like 45 minutes, where it was 3 paragraphs on a page. But it's a huge battle with tens of thousands
But there's a story arc that's supposed to be in fucking movies, and you can't take one part out of an arc in a book and just extend it into a full movie because that's just one part. That's not an arc. That's not
this isn't just about the battle though. It's about all the stuff that Gandalf was doing at Dol Guldur, and it's which was in the book. It was referenced in the book.
They sort of referenced that it was happening, so he was gone.
Yeah, and then it's written in the appendices of Lord of the Rings. But anyway, you don't have to like them. That's fine.
Are people gonna pay money to see the third Hobbit movie?
Yes, they are.
Yes, so they're going to make the third Hobbit movie.
I told you it's a cash cow. It's gonna sell fucking super well. I'm just fucking.
It's not actually. It's not projected to make nearly as much as Mockingjay. The movies are just not. These movies are just not the big deal culturally. They're not the cultural milestone or touchstone, I should say, that Lord of the Rings was.
Money.
They are. They've already made more than they spent on the movies, even with 2 movies. But so yes, in that regard, it's a cash cow. But that's not why it was split into 3 movies.
Yes, it was, but we can agree to disagree. So Sonic Boom is the last thing I want to talk about, which everyone fucking hates. So the
I
name.
don't care. So
What?
I don't care enough to hate it. This is what I'm
Okay.
saying. I'm not saying I don't care what you're saying, Gabe.
So Sonic Boom is it announced it's at a 39 on Metacritic.
Yep.
Yeah, it only has 5 reviews, but IGN, GameSpot, Game Informer all gave
You
it
need to
terrible
get
reviews.
off.
And the 3DS version didn't even get sent out, so it only has 2 reviews so far, but they're also both really bad. So yeah, don't get this game, but you're gonna get this game if you're a Sonic fan because you enjoy pain,
Because
I
you
guess.
like shitty
No.
games. You have bad taste.
Sonic games are fucking horrible. Even Sonic 1 is not a very good game. I'm gonna say that now.
Wrong.
That game is very cool to look at. It is not
It's-
fun to play.
It's
What's
fun,
the
but
best
can't they
Sonic
just?
game?
It's fun, but can't they just put Sonic 2 on 3DS Classics or whatever already?
Yeah.
I want to
No,
play
I
that
feel
game again in 3D.
Gabe, what's your favorite Sonic game? You say Battle 2, you're wrong.
I didn't play that one. I'm trying to think. So it's definitely not Genesis, the Game Boy Advance one. That's the worst port ever. So I played Sonic Heroes for review.
Of Sonic 1, or do you mean Sonic Advance?
No, it's
'Cause
called
those games are
Sonic.
great.
It's called Sonic Genesis.
Oh
It's
yeah.
like
Sonic Genesis, collection.
it's no, not the collection. I think that's a
I
PS2
think
thing.
it was just called
No,
Genesis.
it's on
not like
GBA. as well.
Okay, well, yeah. Anyway, it was just a terrible port that was slowed down all the time. What did I play? I played Heroes, and that was pretty bad. I like the music, and it's super cheesy and terrible, but it's awesome. Yeah, I mean, I guess one, but I just don't think any of the games are all that good.
I discovered something
It was
interesting.
a great character to put against Mario. I'll say that.
I discovered something interesting about Tails, which is
I'm afraid
recently
about
when I
what
read
you're gonna say.
when I read the book, which is that his name is Miles Tails Prower. I
Mhm.
discovered that Prower is like a portmanteau of miles per hour.
Yep.
God damn it!
Yep.
So it all makes sense.
Do you guys remember Shadow the Hedgehog when that game came out?
Yes, my little brother
With
had
the
it.
guns, with the pistols.
Yeah,
And he said damn. He said damn
was
sometimes.
edgy, man.
Guys, that fucked me up as a little kid.
What screwed with me was when
It
was when
fucked
Donkey
me
Kong
up that you were a
64
little
came
kid
out.
when that came out.
That would have been
What-
what? I think we were like 10 when that game came
Yeah, I
out.
was like 10.
Which game? Which
Sonic
game?
or Shadow the Hedgehog.
2002, right? Or 2004?
It was like 2004. And
Yeah,
but
would've been
the
10.
one that really messed with me was when Donkey Kong 64 came out, and they say hell.
Do they?
Yeah, in that rap song.
Rap.
I don't like the game that much, so I haven't played much of it. I
Yeah,
have it
it's
still.
not
that's
very good.
Not a good game either.
Anyway,
It's no
It was
Banjo
so
Kazooie.
bad that it didn't even run on the console it was made for.
expansion pack. Anyway.
I'm just having fun.
Yeah, so this has been a week of disappointment, and eventually God, I really want to pick up Dragon Age, but I'm not going to have time. But hopefully we will see you next week, and we'll be able to talk about some of this stuff more. We'll be working on some reviews. We'll have an AC Unity review for you within the next few weeks, I assume. Brian will be working on that. The Call of Duty review will be coming. I'll be working on Far Cry, and then eventually the Halo review will also come.
I'll be doing GTA.
Yeah, so Mike will be doing
Finally.
GTA. Amy is going to be doing Dragon
Age.
Age, and there's a couple more.
Pokemon comes out next week, actually.
Super
I guess
Smash
that's
comes out on
important.
next Friday.
Oh, yeah? Wow.
Seth will be doing that.
Yeah, so a lot of stuff. Obviously, this is the clusterfuck that we get most holidays, although it just seems really, really
But
crappy.
we're buying it all ourselves, so send us money.
Yeah, we should set up a Patreon account. Leave
Yeah,
a comment. Tell us whether that's a good idea.
We'll get five donations of $1 each.
Yes.
We'll have to split it among 8 people.
I'm gonna get some White Castle from CVS.
I'll take 50 cents. What? You can get like a Kit Kat bar or something.
I won't take any.
Anywho,
You guys can have it all.
we
You
will
guys can have it
see you. We will see you next week. Keep playing video games, or don't just watch the show.
Keep on gaming. Bye.
Blah, 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 blah.